I need to catch everyone up because the last time you saw me, we had an offer on our house and then everything fell apart. Tell me why it just started pouring out of nowhere. What is happening? Ah! Why? I don't have time for this. Look at this! Ah! Oh my god, you guys. I just want to get the stuff out of my house. There's just so much stuff left and I don't know what to do with it. And now it's raining. I think I got pretty much everything out that I'm taking with me to my in-laws' house. But I still have like all the stuff that I have to move to the garage or to the pod. Oh my god, my Rosemary's out there. Hold on. Ah, she does not need to be outside. She's stressed already. I don't know how I'm supposed to fit anything else in the car. All right, let's keep up the show. You know that saying, when it rains, it pours? Yeah, I lived it today. I've moved enough times to know that the last day in your house is always the worst one. There's so much stuff and half of it is too nice to throw away, but not nice enough to actually want to take with you. And somehow it all ends up in one pile staring at you. This is where we're at with Callie's room. Today was the girls' last day of school, which is emotional, but also I still had 47 things to do, so we were just gonna have to feel our feelings in the car and deal with that later, because there's furniture in rooms that's definitely not supposed to be there, and at the same time, I'm trying to think about everything from what are we gonna eat for dinner tonight to how do I fit 2 weeks of our lives into my Suburban, which is a humbling experience, by the way, and not logistically possible at all. Waiting to pick up Cadence from her last day. Then I gotta go home, get Kilee off the bus, and then go get Trip. There's still like other stuff to clear out of the house, so. And if you're wondering, my husband's not even here, which is pretty much how it always works out. So yeah, I really thought that this was going to be the hardest part, but of course, turns out it wasn't. Because at this point, I still thought we were just packing to stay at my in-laws for a couple weeks and we would be closing on our new house in no time. I mean, I was so confident in this that I only packed leggings and sweatshirts for myself, thinking we would be in our new house by the first warm day, which is actually so funny in hindsight. Because to top it all off, our buyers backed out, like fully backed out, gone. We still don't really know why. It had nothing to do with us. It's just one of those things that like happens, but the timing was incredible. I mean, we were already basically moved out. So instead of trying to undo everything and drag our couch back into the house and change when the kids were starting at their new schools and risk losing Trip's spot in the new daycare, we just looked at each other and we were like, okay, I guess we're still just gonna go. So we went ahead and moved anyway. Originally, we were planning to stay with Tim's parents for a week or two in between because our offer was contingent on the sale of our old house. So I only packed for us to stay there a couple weeks. But once the house fell through, we had no idea how long we were going to be there. We really thought our old house was going to go back under contract really fast. Super easy, no big deal. The first offer came in super fast and we were like, oh, we'll definitely get another one. But time started to pass and that hadn't happened yet. So we were just living in limbo and that was not the vibe. All of our stuff was in boxes. We were in someone else's house. Our house is sitting on the market and we're trying to figure out what the next move even was going to be. That time of year is kind of slow in the real estate market where we were living just because it's not quite spring yet. So we were like, it's going to happen. But we didn't want to wait. We weren't sure how long. So we decided to see if we could restructure our loan so we could close on the new house without selling our old house first. We've never bought a house. That probably sounds really simple until you realize that getting a mortgage is basically just someone asking you to recount every single financial decision you've made since the time you were born. They're like, hey, quick question. What did you spend $42 on in 2017? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure it was something stupid. Please tell me how stupid it was. They want your bank statements, your tax returns, your firstborn child. So we were like, cool, let's do that whole process again for the second time, just for funsies, because when you restructure your loan, you have to start all over. And while that was happening, we're living at Tim's parents, trying to keep life somewhat normal for the kids. They're starting their new school. I'm still trying to work for a living. Tim's still going back and forth to work, and we're trying to also work on this whole plan to figure out what we're gonna do, because as much as we love Tim's parents, obviously that's why we wanted to move near them, we really needed our own space because we are a family of 5. So during this whole period, I was actually still going back and forth to Fayetteville constantly. I still do. Cadence has dance there. She's finishing out the season at her dance studio. And we still had some stuff in the house we were clearing out. So it felt like chaotic in every direction. Nothing was fully done. Nothing was fully started. We had no real timeline. We were just existing in the middle of everything. Going back and forth was honestly just so chaotic and confusing. And I don't know. It's been like 3 days since we officially don't live here anymore. Show you guys a little update of what it looks like. I was just writing something on the floor and packing up a couple more boxes. Here's a living room. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in the kitchen. I just actually wrote this letter because I feel like people come to see the house might not know some of the positive things. I don't know, maybe I'm unhinged, maybe I'm losing my mind. But my bed is too heavy for me to pick up, so I have to wait for Tim to get it. Still have some clothes in here that I have to buy more boxes for. This Tripp's room, I've been touching up the paint here. The bathroom, nothing going on in here. Everything's empty. Here's Callie's room. I also have been touching up the paint in here. And then upstairs, there's still some stuff. I have to drive over here 2 nights a week for dance, for Cadence. So I've been using those. I used those nights this week to pack up more stuff. And here's our pod full of stuff. But that's where we're at right now. I put some stuff in the letter that was like recently updated the cabinet. All the kitchen appliances have been replaced. When people are looking at houses, they have looked at a bunch. And so even though it says it in our listing, it's easy to get confused. There's sheds in the backyard and 3 blueberry bushes. It's a friendly neighborhood and like the stuff the neighborhood does. There's a fun Halloween and food trucks and there's a pool and a golf and tennis, and because like when you're not from somewhere and you don't know what's around, I feel like those would be helpful things to know. I would like to know those things. I don't have much longer before I pick Cadence up from dance. I feel like I'm just like continuing to move stuff and nothing's actually changing. I really just need the plot to go forward. Oh, my face is bruised. I'm getting wrinkle relaxer, so don't mind me. So now we're almost to present day, right? So we were staying with Tim's parents, we were in between, and then we finally got our Hail Mary. We got some really long overdue good news. We got actual good offer on our house. It felt solid. And around the same time, everything with switching our loan finally went through and we got cleared to close on the new house. When that happened, everyone was like, oh my gosh, are you so excited? And I was like, I don't even know. I don't want to believe anything until I actually get the keys. So now it's present day. We have closed on the house. We moved in as soon as we could to the new house. We're doing all kinds of stuff to it. Our old house is actually still under contract, but we're set to close at the end of April. Cross your fingers that everything goes smoothly, but things seem to finally be moving in the right direction. I'm finally starting to feel like we actually live here now and it wasn't just some sort of very odd extended vacation. I am so ready to be done with our old house. Just want to wrap that all up nice and neat in a bow. Before we finally are finishing up with the Fayetteville house, I did go back one more time and film a full empty final walkthrough. That's going to be the next video. I was honestly not prepared for how it was going to feel. So anyway, that was a lot of information. Now you're caught up to speed. We got some exciting stuff going on. I've been vlogging everything. So I'm going to wrap this one up and make sure you're subscribed and I will see you guys later.